What's your age?
I am 27.
Are you single?
I am single.
Why is that the case?
Honestly, I run into a bunch of women. They see that I have some type of money. I'm not the richest guy, but they like to spend all my money, and then they leave.
So they're not being an asset in your life.
More of a liability.
How do you feel like they're doing that? And give me the timeline. Break it down.
Honestly, I think it's like a Western civilization thing, because there's been many times where I go out of the country, I spend money on women, they treat me like a king. I could spend $4,000 at Club Space right now. A bunch of girls will come to the club, they'll drink all my liquor, they'll take pictures, and then say peace.
Do you really think that you're gonna find the woman that you're looking for in those environments?
I know when you're going to a third world country, the Visa card is always up in the air, but I'll tell you right now, I'd rather go and find my wife from Cartagena than go to Miami and find her. 100%.
What's the difference over there?
You spend any type of money on a girl from Cartagena, she's gonna come back and make a 9-course meal for you and your homies. If you do that in Miami, she's gonna take your Social Security and run it up. There's a difference, boys. I'm telling you, this is free game. I am 100% indoctrined as a passport bro since March 1st.
Why do you think Western women tend to lack that attribute?
Social media is 100% killed romance, right? And every time I have troubles with women, my dad comes up to me and he says, "You're working twice as hard as I did for a woman that's 4 times worse than your mother." So what does that tell you?
Kings, this man's father said everything that needed to be said. Twice the work for women that are 4 times worse. That is the maths of the modern dating market summarized in one sentence by a man who lived through both eras and watched his son navigate the difference. A king is not obligated to accept a bad deal simply because it is the only deal being offered locally. As the African proverb says, the wise do not sit and wait for good things. They rise and walk toward them. Sometimes that walk takes you further than you expected, and that is not running away. That is moving with intention. The wallet stays closed until the character checks out. That is how grown men move.
I am okay to finish my life being single. Being single.
Come on,
hey,
it's not going to happen.
I would rather die as a single man, having never gotten laid before, than wife up a lady who's absolutely contentious, who makes me want to sit in the corner of my roof, who makes me want to run out into the desert and die there.
Proverbs 21:19.
I would rather be single for the rest of my life, because that sounds so much better.
I think this is becoming more of a man's view in this day and time. My
Agreed.
son is 18, and I was like, "You don't want to have a girlfriend?" He's like, "I don't want to invest time and money and everything in a girl that I don't want to marry that's been with all my friends."
I don't think people realize this is going to become extremely common, where men, like generally speaking, in their nature, don't really need other people with them. I mean, I can go to church. I have my boys at church. Like, that's my community. I don't need to have a wife. I definitely want one, but I don't need it. Whereas women in general, psychologically, sociologically, they need that partner. And when we find women who are single in their 50s and 60s, they are crushed.
The woman's 18-year-old son said it better than most grown men ever could. Why invest time, money, and energy in someone he does not want to marry who has already been with his friends? That is not immaturity. That is discernment arriving earlier than expected. And it is becoming the standard, not the exception. As the African proverb says, when the music changes, so does the dance. A generation of young men looked at the deal their fathers and older brothers accepted and quietly decided to negotiate different terms. The pressure of loneliness does not land the same on a man who has already found peace in his own company. Brothers, you cannot scare a man with solitude after he has already learned to enjoy it.
I posted a video about guys not knowing what they want in their 30s, and let me tell you, the comments have me like shook. The amount of men saying that they don't want to get married because they don't want to have to take care of a woman is like absolutely mind-blowing to me. Like, love is dead. It's dead. Done.
Anyone that has been willing to listen to men over the last decade, they would realize that this isn't just an issue of men being lazy and not wanting to take care of a wife. That's not what this is. Men are saying this because they feel like they're having to give 100% and then receive nothing in return, maybe 10%, maybe 20%. They have felt that in their relationships. I think that women have given less and less. They have pushed for equality, which is great in many ways, but you can't push for equality in so many aspects where women were supposed to or expected to give all of that to a man. You push for equality in that, so men are taking up 50% of whatever that is. For example, child rearing, he's supposed to be there now just as much as she is. If you expect that to be 50-50, you need to expect other things to be 50-50. Things that at one time he was supposed to carry 100% of that load.
Kings both are describing the same thing from different angles. A man who pours everything into a partnership and consistently receives a fraction in return does not stop loving. He stops investing in a losing position. The African proverb says, "However long the night, the dawn will break." But a man who keeps funding a night that never ends eventually turns off the light himself. Equality was asked for. A king simply held people to it. Keep watching Kings because the next clip breaks down exactly what the pattern looks like up close.
What is really left for men to desire in women? So many women are out in the clubs, drinking, smoking, being promiscuous, having their whole ass cheeks out, leaving nothing for the imagination, and looking for the next handout. A lot of these women are basically escorts with their hand out, looking for the next highest bidder who can pay their bills and maintain their lifestyle while they're simultaneously broke and have nothing to bring to the table. But yet they can't understand why men aren't obsessed with them anymore. So many of these women claim that men are so incredibly toxic and don't provide any peace, but these same types of women don't know how to provide peace themselves. Their idea of communication is screaming, yelling, the silent treatment, and then when men want to hold them accountable, suddenly these men are abusive. And the funny thing is that if you decide as a man to go on a date with a woman and you can't meet her unrealistic expectations, then you become the next subject line for her content on social media. And your experience with her is exploited for likes and views and clout. And as if that's not bad enough, these women are getting their relationship advice from sprinkle lady and strippers on the internet and will break up with you over dumb shit that they hear on the internet because somebody else did it or they feel it's relatable. And let's not forget the pounds of makeup that make women look a certain way, and these men have to wake up to a totally different woman the next day and wonder what the fuck happened. So not only do these men get to wake up to a totally different person, you have to compete with their many personalities and her fake facade. Doesn't sound too desirable now, does it? Okay, bye.
Pattern recognition is not bitterness. It's data. A man who has paid attention, who has watched, experienced, and processed what keeps happening is not angry. He is informed. And an informed man adjusts his behavior accordingly. As the African proverb says, until the lion learns to write, every story will glorify the hunter. For a long time, men accepted the story being written about them. Now, more of them are picking up the pen. Brothers, protecting yourself is not closing your heart. It is opening your eyes.
In order for it to be acceptable for you to be together, he needs to pay for a lot of things.
Why?
None of that 50-50 shit. And still needs to treat you as a person with autonomy.
Yeah, most men do.
Hobbies.
Yeah,
and
most men do.
He should expect the chores that need to be done in the house, his own chores, to be done by himself.
Oh, but he has to pay for everything.
Maybe you all split, but like his laundry, his dishes, his cooking of his meals, if you aren't eating together, that's not on the woman.
Yeah, it is.
On him.
If he pays, yes, it is.
So, not only does he not get a maid in this situation, but he also has to pay a lot for the relationship.
What does he get out of the relationship? Are there requirements for him? What are you expected to do? So he has to pay for a lot of things or everything, and you're not expected to cook or clean for him at least? And that's the easier side of the deal, too. I just don't understand the entitlement. You're supposed to love this man. Like, naturally, when you love someone, you're like, you want them taken care of. Oh, he's hungry after a day of work? Well, let me go cook up some chicken and vegetables or something. Let me make you a dinner. You paid for something? Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. That's bare minimum.
She asked the right question. What does he get? And the silence that follows that question is the most honest answer in the entire debate. Kings, a relationship built entirely on one person's obligation and another person's entitlement, is not a relationship. It is a contract. And a king who has built his finances, his peace, and his self-worth reads that contract carefully before he signs anything. The African proverb says, "Do not set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm." Love is not a one-way transaction, and a man who knows his worth will not pretend otherwise. If you are one of the kings out here building quietly, protecting your peace, and refusing bad deals, this channel was built for you. Hit subscribe and stay in the room with men who are moving with purpose.
Just because he pays the bills and gives you some good dicky icky does not mean he's a good man, okay? That man is just a provider, baby. A provider. Say it with me. Provider. A good man does not entertain other women. He gonna let the whole world know that you is his woman, baby. The whole world. He's gonna sing it from the rooftops. He won't be narcissistic towards you. Or toxic. Let's not forget toxic. And the ego. He'll never let that come between your relationship. This good man is going to care about your opinions. Yes, your feelings, your emotions, your opinions. And don't forget the wants and needs. Those are going to be a top priority for him if you have a good man. This man is going to love your flaws, all of your flaws and imperfections. Every last one of them. See, because a good man knows that the least that he can do for you, honey, is respect you and love you in your presence. But not only in your presence, but most importantly, in your absence.
Brothers, we close here, and we close clearly. She described a man of exceptional character, loyal, present, grounded, ego-free, respectful in public and in private. That man is real. He exists. You may be building toward him right now, but notice that the list only moved in one direction. Every requirement was his. Every standard was for him to meet. And at no point did the conversation turn to ask, and what does she bring to match that man? A king who has done the work on himself, who has built his finances, his character, his emotional groundedness, does not offer all of that to someone who has not asked themselves the same question. As the African proverb says, a man who pays attention to his own path does not stumble over the stones on someone else's. Walk your path, king. Build your standard. And when someone truly matches it, you will know. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with a man who needs to hear this. Subscribe and hit the notifications bell to stay updated. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.